Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Talk Line on the Metro News Radio Network in and around the great state of West Virginia. Hoppy, Kercheval with you. It is, coming up steam release at 11:33. I got a lot of things to throw out to you, and you can release your steam through phone calls at 11:33 at 1-800-765-8255 or email talkline@wvmetronews.com or send me a tweet at Hoppy Kercheval. I got a lot coming in on an anti-discrimination bill. I will get to that. It's National Guard Day here at the legislature. And we have we got a lot of weaponry around today, which is kind of neat. And we're going to talk with the General Hoyer of the National Guard in a couple of minutes. But first up, I want to talk about a program in a school that I really am fond of. I think they do great work, and that is the Mountaineer Challenge Academy in Preston County, which is affiliated with the National Guard. And they come down every year. They bring their cadets down, and we get a chance to meet some of them, and we're doing that again today. Nick Austin is the admissions counselor of the Challenge Academy, and he's here today. Nick, how you doing?
Good, Hoppy. How you doing today?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Now, the National Guard, it runs it, or it's affiliated with, or what's the relationship?
We're sponsored by the West Virginia National Guard Day. Okay. Yeah, pay a lot of the bills for us.
Yeah, and you bring in to the school young men and women,
yes,
high school age, who are about to get off on the wrong path, and you get them on the straight and narrow. But give me a little better definition.
Yeah, what we're looking for are West Virginia residents, students that are 16 to 18 years of age by the time the Challenge Academy starts our next class, like in July. They have to be 16 to 18 years of age by opening day. We're looking for students that are physically and mentally capable of coming to a residential program for 22 weeks and getting their life back on track, and that are drug-free.
I want you to introduce Mattheon Rulock, who's from Morgantown, who's our cadet who's with us today, and he got a bunch of cadets down here. But introduce Mattheon and how you came across Mattheon.
I was visiting Morgantown High School doing a group presentation, and Mattheon was part of probably 15 or 20 kids that I met with that day that were academically behind, maybe skipping school a little bit, attendance issues. The school brought some of those kids together for me to do a group presentation for, and Mattheon was one of the fortunate kids that I got to meet with, and was interested in what I had to say.
Mattheon, get a little closer to that mic there, will you? So you were screwing up, man.
Yes, sir, I was.
What were you doing or not doing?
Well, I originally was going to class, but then I met this group of kids and started skipping, hanging out with them, just going down the wrong way.
And obviously your schoolwork was suffering.
Yes, sir.
Didn't your mom say, Mattheon? What did your mom say?
She told me to get back on track. I need to separate myself from that group of kids and find a group of kids that's trying to go the same way as me, and hang out with them more so their influences can rub off and I can be more like them.
And you thought, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. Isn't that what you thought?
Yes.
So when you heard the pitch, you talked to Mr. Austin. What went through your mind?
What went through my mind was, originally I didn't want to come here, but I talked to my mom about it. She said, think about it. We looked it up on the internet, got some more information, and I talked to a former cadet, and he said he liked it. So I thought about it, and I looked at where I was headed, and was like, this is not where I need to be. So this program will help me get back on track.
How has it helped you?
Well, it's gotten me more organized. I've been able to stay focused and not lose track of what I need to do and where I'm going.
And it gives you structure, right?
Yes.
I mean, when they say get up, at what time are you getting up now?
5 o'clock in the morning.
I think you guys got up at 4 o'clock this morning, didn't you?
Yes, so when you get up at 5, you get up at 5, don't you?
Yes.
And they say be here at this time and make your bed and show up.
Right.
How was it the first couple days there?
First couple of days is a little tedious and kind of hard because you don't know what you're doing or getting yourself into. But after that, once you know the routine and what's going to be happening and what you need to do to get it correct, it's pretty easy.
And so you settled into a routine. Those first couple days, did you want to go home?
Yes, I did.
Did you want to run down Route 7 back toward Morgantown?
Yes, I did. There was plenty of times where I was like, this is not for me. I don't want to do this. I want to go home. But I stuck through it.
How do you feel now?
I'm really glad I stayed.
Yeah. So you're going to finish up in
June.
In June?
Yeah, second week of June.
And you'll have, and Nick, I want you to talk about this because before, and I've talked to the cadets many times and you guys many times, you get a GED. Not anymore.
No, it's a different story now, Hoppy. Thanks to General Hoyer's office, the Department of Education, the State Superintendent of Schools, after reviewing our curriculum, it's now been determined that students that graduate the Mountaineer Challenge Academy pass all of our curriculum, including their GED, and some tests called the Work Keys test. Students that meet all those requirements will be eligible to receive their regular high school diploma from their home high school. So in Mathion's case, he'll be one of the first kids from Morgantown High School when he graduates here, if he meets all that criteria, to be able to receive his high school diploma at our graduation.
And by the way, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
I think that's really good because you put these kids through rigor, and they get, instead of GED, which has a little bit of a stigma associated with it, no, you have a high school diploma.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
And a lot of people, I know, they think, they'll hear this and they'll think, well, that's the easy way out, 22 weeks, and, I've got my diploma. And that's certainly not the case. Our school's definitely designed for the students that are, academically at risk, have gotten off the path a little bit to get back on. But this is a harder path, and they're rewarded handsomely at the end for it if they meet all the requirements.
Mathion, have you thought about your future?
Yes, I have.
What are you thinking?
I want to go to college after I get out of this program, and I want to be an orthodontist. So I already know what I need to do, how to get there, and right now looking at possible scholarships.
That'd be great. Listen, I'm sure they tell you, when you get out, when you finish the Challenge Academy, get your diploma, you're going to go back to Morgantown, you're going to see some of those same guys.
Right.
And they're going to say, let's go hang. And I'm not dissing your friends, but there are choices you have to make,
Right. It's just going to I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to have to stick through it and separate myself from them and be like, hey guys, I can't do this. I know what I want, and I know what I need to do to get there.
Yeah. There's a term called deferred gratification. They might not have taught you that yet, but you put in the time now, and it pays off later. Sometimes you don't want to hear about that now, but it does. It pays off later.
Absolutely.
And for what you young men and women are doing at Challenge, that's exactly what it is, Nick.
Oh, that's absolutely it. What the students are doing now, and it is hard for them to see down the road.
Right.
They're starting to see that now as the attitudes change, as they're starting to succeed physically and in the classroom. They're starting to see that end of the light, and they're starting to develop their own plans on what they're going to do in the future, because our graduates, they come in maybe off track a little bit. By the time they leave, they see their future, and they know the things they want to have happen for themselves.
Yeah, you can see it. You
Absolutely.
can visualize it. What about out there? I know there are parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles here and say, man, I got a niece, I got a nephew, I got a son or a daughter. They're a sophomore, they're a junior, they're getting off track. They're not bad kids, they're just getting off track. How do they qualify for the Challenge Academy?
Well, again, 16 to 18 years of age, resident of the state of West Virginia. Those are the main things. Of course, physically and mentally capable of staying at our campus and finishing the 22 weeks. Because it is, as you can see, Mathion here, he's in pretty good shape.
He's in good shape.
And the different ways they can get a hold of us, they can call us at our 800 number at 800-529-7700. They can go on our Facebook page, just search Mountaineer Challenge Academy. They can also go to our website, which is www.wvchallenge.org. Look up all that information, as well as myself, a couple of my colleagues. We visit the schools regularly. Actually, this Monday and Tuesday, I'll be at Morgantown High School Monday morning, your old stomping grounds, and I'll be at University High School Tuesday morning. It's a chance for the students and their parents, if they wish, to come into the schools and meet with us in person.
Mathion, what would you say if you were talking to a friend of yours who was maybe interested in the academy or had been approached about it but were wary of it? What would you tell them about the academy?
I would tell them that it's a good idea. It really will help you. It's maybe physically demanding and mentally demanding, but it's worth it in the end.
I'm going to tell you something, Mathion. I do this when I talk to cadets, and this is the state of West Virginia is listening, and you need to hear this, is that we're proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Family, I'm sure your family's proud of you, and the state's proud of you, and Nick, I know the Challenge Academy is proud of you.
Oh, absolutely. We're proud of all of our cadets. To see that transformation, we're all very blessed to be able to see the kids the way they come in and then see them when they graduate as, grown adults and the way they carry themselves, the way they're interacting with people. It's a very rewarding experience.
You stand up straight like a man because you've earned it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, listen, thanks a lot. Matthew on Rulock and also Nick, it's great to see you again.
Good to see you, Hoppy.
All right, keep up the good work.
Take care.
All right, we'll be right back. Talkline on Metro News. Welcome back to Capital. Hoppy Kercheval with you. The steam release coming up at 11:33, and there will be a lot to steam about. Please welcome the State Adjutant General in charge of the National Guard in West Virginia, General James Jim Hoyer. General, good to see you. How are you, man?
Thanks for having me on.
I got to tell you, I am not a soft touch. I am not. I'm like the Grinch. My heart's about 3 sizes too small. I talk to those Challenge Academy people. I get misty-eyed. I talk to those Challenge Academy kids.
Hoppy, it is a wonderful program doing some great things for some young kids who just want and need an opportunity, and we in the Guard are thrilled to have that as part of our portfolio of things that we do.
And you see, I mean, you talk to those kids, and I always ask them the same questions, and you get the same, and it's like, to them, they're not bad kids. You know, and then a light bulb, this is not Prunty Town, the old Prunty Town. And a light bulb, you get them in that structured environment, and a light bulb goes off. They get it.
Absolutely, and some young kids are doing some really great things. They're an example of Challenge Academy kids who have gone on to become doctors, lawyers. We have a young man who was actually the radar operator on the Navy ship that fired the missile that shot that Russian satellite out of orbit when it was falling back into Earth.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's awesome. And you have spots. I mean, I used to think you couldn't get in, but you got spots.
No, we have spots. We have more spots available. We now have an agreement with the State Department of Education, thanks to some good work by the superintendent, to allow us to award high school diplomas for those kids who meet the requirements. They pass the GED, they take an additional test, and they meet the challenge requirements, and we can now award a high school diploma.
That's a big deal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Let me switch gears, General Hoyer, and see